Hello everyone, this is Abhishiktha Pagadala.
And I'm Hafsa Zoya.
Today we have Ms. Revathi Raju, the director of Sanskriti Educational Society, who is not just a successful entrepreneur but a visionary for whom education is about nurturing character, building leadership qualities, and generating compassion-driven individuals. Today's conversation is something that is really close to our heart because in today's society wherein education has become a race, it has become a competition without true purpose, it is her vision, it is her unique thoughts that help us remind what exactly education is. So by playing a crucial role as an educator, she has truly realized her responsibility of shaping and generating better citizens for tomorrow. So through this interview, through this conversation, it is our sincere hope that we resonate with every child, with every student, with every teacher and parent, and inspiring all of us to rethink our approach towards learning, education and leadership for the next coming society. So join me in welcoming Ms. Revathi Raju.
Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Before we begin, I would like to take a moment out to thank you for this opportunity and to have also had the opportunity to grow up looking at you, your mentorship. We're really grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for remembering your school days and it just gives me an immense pleasure meeting you guys and seeing you so smart and very outspoken, and I am really loving to mentor you now also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Growing up, we've always looked up to you, your style of working. And we're really grateful to have had this, to have been students of the school under your mentorship, of course. So I would start off by asking you, what exactly inspired you to step into education industry, and what made you feel like this was the right thing to do?
First of all, even I would like to thank you all for me being your mentor, and
thank you.
It was a great journey. It is always a great journey to take care of children and then seeing them grow and see them as flowers right now and being so confident. I think I can tell you, to start a school, I think it was a very long dream. I used to dream it when I was a student itself. I've told in many interviews also. I don't know, as a child I used to be when I was in a class also, I used to think why our teacher has to be there and how can I teach it much better, and then how I think because I was a dreamer and I used to think, and always my classes used to go above my head. And I used to think, if she would have explained me this in this way, I don't know. I think it was in my journey of life to be a teacher. First, I started my journey as a teacher, and then I worked in a school. Then I have seen the system. Then I have understood how the system has been working, and there's no change from my schooling system to be the current 25 years back in school system. So there was no change, but then the dynamics of children has been changing, and I have been taken many philosophers as my guidance. G.D. Krishnamurti is one of my philanthropists, Sri Aurobindo, and also Mother International, Mother Maria. She was also my mentor, and I have read a lot of books, and I've got inspired by their education system. And Rudolf Steiner from Europe, he has also contributed in education system of many things. Then I've got trained in Rudolf Steiner schools for some time, and what I've understood is everyone or anyone, whoever the philosophers were, they were all started their journey at each period of their lifetime. So there was always a period, and there is a change in the education system, what they are looking at the younger children and the approach. So my journey began with thinking to be a good educationist. You have to be a good economist. You have to understand the surroundings of your society and whom you're catering, and what is the best ways you can give them what is that child missing out. So I started the school first in Jubilee Hills, and that area caters to little bit of higher grade society people. And at that point when I started, it was also a generation where software was booming, where parents didn't have time. Your parents at that point, your mother and father were working, both were software engineers. Your parents were also busy in their jobs. At that time when you came, when I started the preschool, that is the journey when I saw, parents hardly had time to even, feed the children. At that point, I was looking at it. So why can't we provide something as a nutritional meal to them? We were the first school at that point, 25 years back, started a play group.
Yes.
Okay.
We thought at that point the need of the play group was much needed because the parents didn't have time to even do occupational therapy, like something like sit down or potty training or feeding the child in the right way, teaching the etiquettes at home, and there was actually a big change from, grandparents taking care, parents, nuclear families, and both the parents working was a huge shift at that point. And that was the time where all international schools were also going on a boom.
Yeah.
Like, looking at it saying, since a lot of them are software engineering parents who were half America and half US, half India, they were big, change of shift from CBSE schools or ICSE schools to say, your child will be good in international schools. There were a lot of, debate happening at that point. At that point of time, we have thought as Sanskriti. The name Sanskriti itself will explain. Why we have named it is, what we have imagined at that point is, the 20 years or 25 years later, the children who are coming to us, at the point they finish, there would be a huge shift in the same software and the cultural changes and all those things. Then we thought we will name it something called Sanskriti, where our children should never forget the roots from where they have been. And me being traveling in different countries, understood that the root is the very important aspect to give your children is the root. The minute they are rooted, they can flourish anywhere in any part of the world because they have that self-confidence that I am this.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't wanted them to have an identity crisis by saying international. You will learn something abroad and you will have something abroad, and you are living, dream of living in abroad and not in your own country. I believe the person who doesn't understand their own country and their own, being is itself, their own self-worth is such a high stake. Wherever they travel, they won't have that same self-esteem. So this was our thought process. In every small thing when we started our school, we had a detailed thinking and a thought process on a very sensitive high note. Like even feeding the children. I've seen when we started the school, we used to get comments. ఏంటండి ఒక పప్పు అన్నము ఒక కూర ఒక రసము ఒక అన్నమేనా పిల్లలకి పక్కన వేరే స్కూల్స్ చూడండి అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక 6-7 ఇస్తారు పిల్లలకి అని. దెన్ ఐ యూస్ టు థ్యాంక్స్ టు యువర్ పేరెంట్స్ who believed in my system actually, and I used to tell parents, if you don't teach them the right way of, there is something called portion eating which our great grandparents used to teach. There's something called don't waste unnecessary food cooked, and third, appreciate what is being served. These are the three things. If I'm not teaching my children right from the childhood or from the school concept, and as I mentioned it before, in the starting, that a school person should be an economist. He has to understand what is today's economy going to be in another 25 years. Economy or GDA, GPA might grow, but what is the population and what is the grain consumption going to happen tomorrow? So these are the things which you have to put in your school thought process and teach those children. There are schools which will put a 10-course meal for children and charge according to that. But I didn't believe in them. We didn't believe in that because you don't teach them that portion is something or right way of eating and nutrition eating, and if they don't understand that I might eat something and the rest food can be thrown away. And the child when he goes home also expects the 7-course meal, which is not correct. Or he will be a picky. He will not understand what to pick up as a kid. So there were a lot of thought process in understanding, and then also we used to teach children right from childhood, eat how much you can, and then we also understood the parents at home are not able to give that time at that point. So we made a teacher being the mother to feed you, feed the children. So every thought process was a sensitive. And then what made us to be in education is coming to the conscious, the question is, I think we were having such sensitive thoughts and we wanted our children, our next generation to give these thought, made us to be more stronger in building, number of schools in, that was our thought process in this building.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this upbringing.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for understanding.
Now, I would like to highlight Sanskriti's motto, each child matters. Although you have mentioned about it previously, how your thought process was, but would you like to talk a little more about that?
So, each child matters is our slogan for Sanskriti and a tradition in education also.
Yes.
A tradition doesn't mean that how our traditions are being restored. One is, part of it is that, but also we as Sanskritians, we wanted to create a tradition that we as in Sanskritians, we want to do something better, and I think you guys have that already. And also able to see that clearly what happens in the other co-students, which you must have seen the difference.
Yes.
So see, each child matters. We believed it from the a very start, when we also saw some special children coming up. And today the special children problem is very, very high. Out of 100 we find at least 50% above children having this special children category. Out of 10 they're almost, at that point when I started 20 years back, out of 10 there used to be 1, and after 5 years now I see at least out of 10 there are 5 who are specially aided. So specially aided doesn't mean that they need to come under some category. There are many, many factors which are creating these specially aided children. One, lack of parent intervention, the lack of too much of computers and this TV visual learning, and there are a lot of things. And then each child matters, we came from thinking they were special children, and we thought, if I do an inclusive of these special children in the class, these children will also have a purpose. There is some learning happens to the child. At the same time, my children, the children who are doesn't come under the specially aided children, will also understand that every child matters to not only us, for them also. I remember, I think in your class,
we had
we had a couple of children. Yes, ma'am.
Children, and those children, you took care of them.
Yes.
You never, made them feel that they are separate, or you never teased them, because they were from your childhood.
Yes.
And we taught you guys that kind of patience and understanding and empathy. Something called empathy. an essence or an emotion which I cannot teach you through words or through your essays or through moral stories.
Yes, ma'am.
It will only come as an essence.
Yes.
That essence is being built without your knowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
By doing this, and each child matters to till date. We started a school, and me and my sister, both of us almost dedicate our 10 hours in a day for the school, and there's no Sunday, there's no holiday, because we always felt, as being the mentors, felt that we need to have a connect with the parents. We had that close connect, and we also have now also. Each and every problem which comes and arises for the child, we are there to talk with the parents and come to a conclusion, and that each child matters is, I think it is in part of us. Any child who comes with anything they needed, we had that urge to do something for them, and that close connect is still happening.
Yeah, ma'am.
We hope our next generation also takes that into
Yes,
their
ma'am,
lives.
absolutely. Definitely.
Well, with that, you've answered our next question also.
Yes.
So the next question was about how you dealt with and how you included specially aided children along with everybody else and never made them feel left out, and they were a part of us, and we always very openly accepted them.
Yes,
and that was all thanks to you.
Because other things, as in about education or having extracurricular activities, is one dimension of your story, and the other dimension that is there is about having compassion, about teaching empathy, about being sensitive to things. So this is a completely different story, and these qualities that we've seen in you, that you've instilled in all of us, I think are cannot be seen in any other school. This is the difference that Sanskriti has when compared to other other schools. So, ma'am, how important did you think emotional connection is in student? As in, how important is instilling that emotional quotient in student is? And also yourself and even our teachers, they've always given us that freedom to talk to you about anything. We never had that feeling that they're teachers, we should only talk about certain things to them. We've never had that feeling, and that is because you gave us that emotional touch. You gave us that freedom that whatever you talk to your parents, you can talk to us. We're nothing but second parents to you. So what exactly brought you there?
So, as I said in the starting, till date also, we see that there is a lot of, vacuum in the society with the parenting, because there's a rush in running to survive or make money or whatever it could be. I cannot say that's right or wrong. As an educationist, you should see the present situation and cater to that. So what is really missing in today's children is the emotional connect.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
They don't find that emotional quotient as an important thing.
Yes.
Today you see children, I don't want to do it if the child says the parent is okay.
Yeah. Yes.
But the point is, whether he is right or he is wrong, the parent doesn't have the time to even say no to him, because he has to question him or answer him or try to take his emotional trauma or throwback. The parent is like, it's okay, I don't have the time to even deal with this. So when it comes to school, if even I am being in the same corporate style, saying you do your books, you do your marks and get out of the classroom, even if we are catering to the same journey, I believe, as I said, you have to be an economist, you have to be a therapist, you have to be a mother, you have to be education. Where this generation, where am I catering this generation? If as a school doesn't have that connect, then what am I creating? It's not a factory. I'm creating a human being who's going to be future mothers, future fathers and future generation to cater this country. they are going to be my, who will build so many old age homes or orphanages. They are going to cater today, tomorrow's generation. So if I don't teach them, or if I am not there for them as an emotional connect, the whole bond of emotional or the life which is being born is not going to be any use.
Yes.
So when you start a school, you need to understand where you're catering. Maybe if I would have started in some village, I would only look at village. They already have a connect with nature.
Yeah.
They have human connect. They have, first thing is they have a nature connect.
Yeah.
Nature
Yes.
itself nurtures them.
Absolutely.
Second, they would have got emotional connect because they are free in moving with people. Here, apartment, bus, school.
Yes.
School bus, again apartment, home. There is
Yeah.
a very closed knit here. If it is in a village, I would have only emphasized on their memory method or quotient of learning or marks.
Yeah.
Today, this generation needs more and more of emotional connect and more of emotional support, and try to tell what ability they have and try to extract.
Yes, ma'am.
And this has been a successful story from us, and we see all our students who come and appreciate that. Because of that only we are here, ma'am.
Yes,
Because they love
definitely.
us.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
this is what they are going to give back.
Yes.
What you looked at in your generation, you have to give back. So you have to understand where this comes from. And you know what, now you must have seen, I was telling you the example before also. If I have reared you like, there's a poultry farm, the chickens being tightly kept in, benches, and feed is given right time, and it eats and lays eggs. Now that's what happens in, colleges right now.
Yes.
From morning 7 to 8 o'clock, training the children and training them continuously. What are they going to be? They're going to be chickens.
Yes.
They are not immune to anything which comes into them. Today you are taught emotional connect, you are taught empathy, you've taught something. The burning, we have ignited the fire in you to
Yes.
be the fire there. The ignition of fire is important. And I'm thinking all our students have graded more than 90%. More than that also, even if you get state rank, if you don't know or if you don't have the fire to ignite somebody else's life,
Yes, ma'am.
there's nothing that you are going to be use of.
Yes, ma'am.
You might be getting a 50,000 salary more than what a 90% person got.
Yeah.
But the 50,000, if it's not helping you to emotionally connect with the own person, or if that person does not have that ignition
Yeah.
or the
Yes.
fire to create something, I don't think that it matters.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
So this is what is our thought process. The thought process of being, the connect is very important, and you need to give that ignition to many people in future also.
Yes, ma'am.
Hopefully,
Sure.
ma'am.
Thank you.
So why am I explaining you the thought process is, whatever you start and wherever you go as a journey, you got to have that. If I'm doing it, it has to be thought 360 degrees.
Yes.
And if I'm doing something, it has to have a purpose. And if that purpose is going to create something, you have to be even more thoughtful about it.
Yes.
So, you have to change. And today's journey of education is the dynamics are changing like anything. AI, before when you studied, AI was not there. Now AI has come. And whatever the journey of few parents who only emphasize on software engineer will be zero.
Yeah.
This is what is our thought process when we started the school.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
People who, all these data making people will do this AI and they'll be thrown out. Out of 10, only one is needed.
Yes.
So this one person who has honesty, discipline, creativity, emotional connect only will sit on that seat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely. ma'am.
Not the person who has made the data,
Yes, ma'am.
who's hardworking. So every parent should think that a school or a school educationist should think that I have to create a person who can be all these personalities.
Yes.
And today, like why I explained about the food, I explained you about the special children inclusiveness. I explained you about emotional connect, a teacher feeling you guys, and I explained you about how do you need to we had giving back to society.
Exactly,
Be
yes,
Kaushalya. See, all these things have taught you so many personalities without your knowledge.
Yes, ma'am.
So these personalities are going to create, the journey for tomorrow's generation.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And as you've mentioned, let's talk about Kaushalya now. So, to all those who don't know what Kaushalya Skills for Life is, it's an annual charity ritual in Sanskriti that happens every Diwali, wherein students set up stalls. It could be game stalls, food stalls, or just stalls wherein they sell their handmade creations and earn money. And this money that is earned is completely used for donating essentials in old age homes and orphanages by the students themselves. So this is something that happens every year here at Sanskriti. How did you come up with this idea, and why did you feel this was important?
So there was a time when we thought, that when children were growing, going and buying their crackers, I want 20,000, 10,000 and 15,000, and then we were seeing a lot of children and parents spending a lot of money for their own Diwalis and all. And not only for Diwalis, I've understood how can I teach something called savings to our children.
Yes.
So what is the biggest thing which we thought we should teach them is savings, which we actually used to have when we were kids, a piggy bank. And usually if you see, the piggy banks have been vanished now.
Yes, ma'am.
No parent is teaching what is saving. And people think that saving is something that you are teaching them, we don't have money, we have enough money. That's why teaching piggy bank is one of the concept which is new generation thinking. So when we thought about how do I teach saving, then I thought I should teach them what is making money. Only and importance of money. Only if you make money, you will understand how to save money.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So then I thought, okay, how can we make them learn to make money? So even how to make money, if they make something of their own with their own hands, and if they sell it, that is when they will have that essence of earning money will be fruitful.
Yes.
Yes.
So there was a huge thought process. Then I said, okay, skill for life, and then Kaushalya means skill of your own person. And then we named it, and then we said, if a child is learning to do with their own hands, right from LKG or UKG, everyone understands money, okay?
Yes.
But they don't understand how to earn money.
Yes, ma'am.
And how to make that they also have some skill, and then for them to save it and give back. All these things can happen in one cycle. Then we thought we should teach each and every child that you can make something, we'll put it on a stall and we will sell it, and the money what you are getting in your hand, we will give it to charity.
Yes.
So that process of journey is teaching them so many qualities. One, they are understanding, they are confident that they can do something.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
That is installed right from childhood.
Yes.
Even with guidance it could be, but they understood that they can make something, and that whatever they are making is being sold. That means there is a value for their making.
Yes.
So the value of their making is being understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Then there is money, something which comes, and then this money, if I'm coming, I'll keep that money which I made, whatever I spent for that making, I'll keep that money, and whatever is the profit. So I also taught them the profit, marketing. If I'm telling you in educational aspect, I have made them understand they have a skill.
Yes.
At the same time, I have made them understand empathy.
Yes.
That you have to let go and give it to self. And then indirectly, we taught them that this much money only we are able to spend for somebody else Diwali. If I am spending for Diwali, then children nowadays, all the parents will come and say, Madam, after children don't want to burst crackers after going Kaushalya. They say, Mummy, don't waste money. We want to buy something for someone else.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving this quality. I said, ma'am, don't thank me. Please teach that even more.
Yes.
He will be helpful for his life. So in a school or in anything you make, tomorrow you might have children. Whatever you do, you have to combine many things so that every child is beautiful, ma. Every child is born with a unique quality. It is about how I nurture them, how we create that environment. So I think that is what is our final motto. Every child matters because every child comes with a special quality and special fragrance and special aspect. So we need to nurture them in the right way. And we have to fit all those things in a curriculum of school so that, if a child is not very good in, giving, but it's okay. He understands in this process. He may not understand in first class, he may not like it. Why should I make unnecessary money? I'm making this and why should I give it to, an orphanage? But he will understand through the process.
Yes.
Because the emotion what he is going to get there when he is giving them, that emotion may not trigger him immediately, but it will affect in a ripple form, it will come to him in a different ways. So this is the journey you need to create. And then we've successfully created this. Kaushalya has been successful throughout the years and it's becoming bigger and bigger. And now parents also put their stalls and they also contribute towards this thing. And each and every child, give them. It's a nice thing.
Hats off to the idea, ma'am, because it's not something every educator thinks about. Because we've seen in other schools, we've seen students from other schools and colleges, we've seen this quality which is very important. Many people don't realize it, and you have realized it, and this is something that we're very, very thankful for, because as your students, we've also gone through this process and we've understood everything that you just mentioned.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
thank you
Beautifully
so
thought.
much, ma'am. Thank you for this.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, while every other school out there, or most of the schools out there, always focus on ranks, marks, numbers, you've never really made that as your sole focus. I mean, it was one of the aspects, but for you to focus on leadership qualities and overall development, be it with extracurricular activities, this has been something we don't usually find. It's rare to find. So what made you include all of this into education?
See, we always believed one thing, numbers, if that is what it is catering in society, I think you all have achieved it. And we've always got the top scorings also, like beat it any other commercial school. But that is what we make it a difference. In spite of having all the cultural activities, even IIT students and JEE students in our school participate in annual day, come for the Kaushalya. They are in drama, they are having freshers party, they are having every gala time.
Yes, sir.
See, the point is, I have no idea who has created this in the society, saying, you study so many hours, you will hit the marks.
Yes.
All our ex-students are happily studying in IITs and studying in engineerings and got great jobs.
Yes.
And everyone has scored 98, 97 above.
Yes.
It's a stigma. I believe only one thing is, there is nothing called, studying for so many hours you will get marks.
Yes, ma'am.
And overall development is what actually creates a personality.
Yes.
Today you see in offices, lot of corporate offices, they say we don't want all these 98 marks. Tell me which corporate office is looking at your resumes. They're looking at your overall development, overall personality, what you are thinking about a company, what you want to give to the company, and how much is the energy you want to cater is what. So ultimately you have to teach those qualities to the children. At the same time, numbers is always been achieved in a very ease. We've never studied hours and hours.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And there's not, see, definitely in a government or in a state, they put a number to grade, to filter. But doesn't mean that is only important.
Yes.
Today, no education system actually is, wants that. But unfortunately, there are few institutions which are only catering to numbers, and that is only with parents.
Yes, ma'am.
That is the stupid competition what parents are having among their peers.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Not any I don't think any an educational institution are, putting their burden on them because the parents cater to that.
Yes.
And they think 98% you'll get a better job and 60% won't get, nothing like that. 60% who speaks very well gets a better job than 98.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
True, ma'am.
So you've seen it live. So this is what we believed from the day one, and we've had that successful stories also. And yes, of course the numbers do matter, because for certain time of period to make the child come into that when she can get 98 or 99, why is she stopping at 60? That is, we as a teachers want to push her to 90, is not by asking her to study number of hours, is asking her that where she is missing to get into 90.
Okay.
That a school should help.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We had few students whose parents, it's always opposite we find. When a child used to get always a 98. Okay, and then the father is saying, we were giving her guidance to get that 10%. You could hit that 10% because that child has that actual ability.
Okay.
And they were 4-5 children, and those parents says, madam, please don't pressurize the child, we don't want that 100, let her do on her pace. And we as educationists, we said, sir, we are not pressurizing her, we are only teaching her the next step to get there. We are only trying to see, did she get stuck there? That is where a school has to help.
Yes.
Not by saying everyone getting 10% should work so hard. There is something that one extra mile the professor or the teacher can tell, Abhishiktha, you're getting 98 ma, in 9900 ki you are missing these points, because I have seen your papers
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
in
ma'am.
evaluation.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is 2% where we will increase. And if I don't teach that she should get that 2% more is going to get her 100%. If I teach her, it's okay, you're 98, compromise, she's going to compromise throughout her life, not by achieving that 2%.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
So that quality is important to shift to how I can achieve that next 2%.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you so much, ma'am.
ma'am.
And ma'am, personally, I have heard you mention something called purpose a lot of times, because from whatever I have learned from you, whenever I'm coming to this crossroads wherein I have to take a decision, which profession to choose, for example, which road to take, this word that you have mentioned a lot of time called purpose comes into my mind, and then that is when I know what I should really do. So would you please explain what is meant by purpose and what does it mean to serve the purpose of life?
See, purpose of life is actually a very bigger word. Purpose of life of anyone, should be something that what is that I am creating.
Yes,
And I need some meaning for whatever I am. Even if I am a homemaker, I should be, if I'm homemaker, I have 2 children, I have to rear these children to be the best human beings.
Yes, ma'am.
Even if I'm a servant, the sole purpose should be there. Even if I'm doing any work, should be having a meaning. It should not go on a mechanical aspect. That mechanical aspect will only create an unnecessary anxiety in a person and always be in a depressive state. So all I was telling to always anyone is, the minute you understand the purpose, you will start enjoying the life.
Yes.
In this purpose making, whether I'm doing a job or whether I'm being friends with anyone, or if I'm mother, or any field, the purpose is, okay, right now I am in the purpose of being a manager here. Am I able to create good employees? Am I able to create the real human beings there?
Yes.
And with my behavior or my aspect of purpose should make them understand. So this purpose is something which is very deep in and a very vast subject to tell, because my purpose, I felt, to be a good educationist. Then as a purpose I understood it's not only an educationist, and then how can I create little entities to create a lot of employment. And my purpose, I felt, okay, in this entities, how am I able to cater to different people? So it keeps evolving. But as a purpose, whatever you're doing, you do it to the fullest.
Yes.
And your purpose will automatically come to you, understanding yourself.
Yes.
And you will find, and then whatever you do in your journey of life, be happy and enjoy the process. The process is very important. If you don't, you keep questioning the purpose.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
enjoy the process.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. We've seen you, we've always looked up to you, as we've mentioned, and till now, from starting a school in Jubilee Hills, till now, you have achieved so much as a successful leader, as a successful entrepreneur. You've achieved so much, you've given so much back to the society. So, ma'am, according to you, who exactly is a successful leader? How would you define a successful leader?
You're mentioning me as successful leader. See, I think one thing is, a leader never thinks that he or she is successful, and I think there is never end for a leader to think that this is, I'm done it and it's done. It's a continuous process. 25 years back, our style was different. Today our style is different. Each day the dynamics keep changing, and the leader who was a leader which was at certain point of period may not be leader next. So the leader is already mentioned by you people thinking it is a leader. Any leader or any person thinks that is like, being a journey, and being always keeping up to yourself to that position of mentoring and giving that energy, continuous energy, and giving that process. It becomes a process. And what is a successful leader? I think maybe after 25 years, when I see our students and saying that, ma'am, what you have taught us is been blessed and we are happy, I think that makes me successful on educationist, and being in the process, this is called anecdotals, whatever I have done things to the children and how it is coming back in a bounce. These are all the fruits.
Yes.
A leader never thinks to sow something and see the bear the tree and see the fruit, and different fruits will be coming, different things and different challenges. And now we are enjoying seeing you guys. And also we'll see in future till our energy is there and till we are alive.
Yeah.
And I also tell you, what is a success is, you can never create. Success is something, I've seen, when I see interviews, what is a success? Different people say, there's nothing that you grade or something, which is true actually. We are continuously working and love to work, and we enjoy the work, and we see that as I said, the purpose, and then will to do more and create more. I think that happiness is more bigger than whatever that word called success gives.
Absolutely.
Because that is a bigger success. Be able to continuously work and be able to give more service is the ultimate success, I feel.
Great.
Yes,
More and more.
Ma'am, one last question before we wrap up. Who were your inspirations?
My inspirations, I don't know. Yeah, my parents and the family friend definitely supported. My inspiration, my dad was one of our inspiration, because he also comes from a small town, and he created on his own with zero as an industry, and he created a lot of employment. And I used to see him and I said, even I should be something like him, creating people and employment. So that is a different field, and from that even I wanted to start something and do for people, and there should be something called money. Money is a commodity. I keep telling people, money, don't give more value to money. It's a commodity.
Yes, ma'am.
But then if you really create something out of money, that becomes an entity.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And if that entity can create some purpose to many people, that becomes a purposeful entity. So in future also, create money, create something out of it, and make purpose out of it.
Yes.
So never think money is something you have it and enjoy it and spend it. Of course you will have. You have to do that balance. But mostly there is something called responsibility where money comes. If you are thinking money is only to live and spend, then it will come in that much form only. I think I answered you the successful story.
Yeah.
If you want to create a purpose, you get in abundance. It's as simple
Yes,
as
ma'am.
it
Yes.
is.
Absolutely.
Abundance of love.
All right, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
With this, we would like to end today's conversation, and we would want to sincerely thank you very much for giving us
thank
this
you so much.
opportunity,
Yes,
for
ma'am.
having us.
Thank you so much for making this possible, because
Absolutely.
the purpose of this entire conversation was that we were fortunate enough to be under your guidance, and we were fortunate enough to be in your school, so that we could learn a lot of things from you. But then the idea of this interview is that whatever your thoughts are, your values, your unique perspective towards education should not stop just with your students. It has to go out, it has to reach a greater audience.
You've been telling from the starting that we are fortunate. I'm feeling so happy. Thank you so much for being, loving our journey with us.
Yes,
ma'am.
And I don't now also separate that Sanskriti is different, and students and also parents. We're always been with the connect. Of course, yes, you have to pass on and move forward.
Yes, ma'am.
We are we are here only. Anytime we'll be there.
Sure.
And
Yes.
I will see that you will also create something like this in near
Sure,
future. Is our dream, and that is the purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
That is our purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So you put a seed, and then purpose will automatically. So do it,
Yeah.
and I'll be very happy for you guys. Anytime I'll be there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you so much,
ma'am. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.